Hello.
Sup?
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 Welcome back to another week of our album reviews. I am Mouse.
I'm Azzy.
And we are here to show you 3 obscure releases that you may not know about that you should take a listen to.
Yeah, you know, the huge. Well,
the huge.
Usually the huge. All right.
So we have, I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Hyoscyamus Niger. I keep saying Hieronymus, but it's not Hieronymus Bosch.
Yeah, I keep saying Hieronymus too, but it's
Hyoscyamus Niger with the album
Dynasty Dom.
And then we have a really interesting release by Delirium Mask, their full album Entes, which you can find on YouTube.
And only YouTube.
That's pretty obscure. And then last but not least, we have Senex IV. That's a 4, right?
I think it's 4 and not IV.
It could be Senex IV. With the album Doll's House.
Yes. So let's start with the band that we can't pronounce.
So Batcave Productions has not let us down with another release straight out of Poland. Hyoscyamus Niger.
This was released on the 26th, I want to say?
27th?
27th of January.
Brand new, fresh stuff.
And it's a weird release.
It's interesting. So
in a good way.
So right off the bat, I was immediately impressed by Polish darkwave. That's what I hear in the first track. And I was super excited. They have 10 tracks on this release, and it gives you a little bit more than just darkwave.
A little bit more, a lot more. Like, it's a range.
It's a range. So, do we know anything about the band?
I don't.
I know nothing. About this band. I couldn't find them on Facebook. They're probably so obscure that they don't have any other kind of social media, maybe. Not sure.
I'm not sure. I couldn't find anything else on this band.
But you can find them on Bandcamp. So that's where you should head right now if you'd like to check out the obscurest of the obscure.
But in addition to, like, these darkwave sounds, it has a very, like, industrial and kind of synth pop vibe, where I felt like across the album it was the bits of industrial and synth pop that I enjoy, sort of deconstructed and...
Deconstructed is a good word.
Yeah, and built up around the rest of these tracks.
A lot of the tracks that were my favorite seemed influenced by, like, 90s Euro darkwave. And then there are some really cool vocals in them, and the vocal styles change as well. But sometimes the vocals get really aggressive.
And on those songs I'm like, oh,
you're
it's
like,
a little bit too much for me.
I like that. I do like when things can get aggressive, but I feel like it has to stick with a melody. There are some songs that get kind of experimental, where they may start off kind of dark wave, and then by the time you reach the guitar solo, it starts to become
the like weird clangy like pipe guitar solo combo thing.
I'm not sure what a pipe guitar.
No, like banging on a pipe and playing your guitar solo.
Man, do people actually bang on pipes?
It sounds like they're banging on pipes.
That's the band I want to hear.
Yeah. What, it didn't, like, Ausgang bang on pipes?
Probably. I don't know. So, anyway, there are some interesting tunes in here. There's no way to pigeonhole this album. You just have to listen to it.
Yeah.
The first track...
Dynasty Dom, the title track.
I want to say Do Nasty Dom, but it's not. It's not that harsh. I think Dynasty Dom probably sounds better. Title track, beautiful darkwave.
It was a very lovely track. That track hooked me in, and I was just like, oh
my god, yeah. But it doesn't stay there. It goes through some other tracks, and then you get to Patania.
Oh my god, that is easily like my favorite track on the album.
So you messaged me, and you were like, Patania is sexy. And I didn't know what you were talking about because I hadn't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
So I thought you were talking about like maybe like a band member or something.
Like a band,
and I'm like, where's
person.
Patania? Where is it? And then I get to this song that has like I don't know what is it. It is.
Like these bangy chimes, like almost like
I heard
these
something that might be like saxophone, but it might have been like a guitar.
I'm really not sure. There's a lot of really interesting like instrumental stuff and just like weird noises that go on throughout this album.
I think it's all electronic. Well, there's guitar for sure, but I think there's a lot of electronic.
I think it's mostly electronic.
That's actually pretty commendable if like we're listening to it and we can't even tell.
Well, there's
what
so much
instruments
that's
are
going on,
going
and
on.
it doesn't feel like muddied or like watered down in any sense.
It's very clear,
fits.
very crisp,
And everything
very well
fits.
produced.
Yeah.
Then track 5, you've got a track called Obrezi.
Oh, this was just an instrumental track, and it was so pretty.
It was like piano harpsichord lullaby. That was fun. Right after that is where the album for me starts to lose a little bit of focus. You have Zaxaronilas, which I'm butchering all of these names, by the way. Track 6. That one is slower
I liked this one
guitar.
too.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
But I didn't like it as much as what was it, Ilachasu?
Ilachasu. Is that the one you weren't so sure about?
Track 7? No, it was tracks 8 and 9 that I
8 and 9,
just
okay.
could not listen to.
I liked Ilachasu a lot. Ilachasu was track 7. I liked that one a lot.
Yeah, that one was really nice.
That was more post-punky. You got to hear his vocals really well.
Right.
Really
Tracks
great tune.
8 and 9 though, it went into some industrial that I can't.
Yeah,
I can't listen to it.
It
It's too
reminded me
aggressive
of when
for
we
me.
were reviewing Blind Seagull, and we're under the impression that we're listening to like a dark wave release, and then all of a sudden you hear like a harsher industrial song. So that's kind of like, whoa, I didn't expect it. And you can't expect this kind of thing when, you don't know what the band looks like, you don't know from the artwork what you're going to get.
Right, 'cause
so
the
it's
artwork
kind of
tells you
surprising.
nothing.
Yeah, so there's nothing. You just go in blind. It's
Yeah.
like jumping into the deep end of a pool. You
And
don't know
hoping
what
there aren't
temperature.
sharks.
Oh, okay. I was going
Oh,
to
temperature too.
Sure. I mean, sharks in a pool.
Sharks in a pool.
I hate when that happens.
Haven't you ever seen Sharknado?
Yeah, which one? There's like 5 of them now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And Tara Reid is in all of them. The last one will just be like Tara Reid in the NATO, like
Tornado. This time she's hunting down the sharks.
Tornado. Sure, it'll just be called Tornado. That's my idea. I came up with that. Sharknado 6, Tornado.
It's just
just
like
her face.
hundreds of her in a tornado just attacking the sharks.
Oh my god, that's a whole other episode where we just talk about our own fantasy shows. Anyway.
Oops.
We are here to tell you that this is several different feelings and energies mixed into one album. So you don't have to be surprised like we were.
Yeah, and I did really enjoy the like experimental and just like what weird shit can I do in this
What
space
weird shit
album.
can I do? Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then it ended up on a really pretty track, which I didn't expect, judging from the way the album was like going.
Papioli? Papiol?
Papiol.
What is this word? Papiot? That might be a T.
I think it's an L with a slash through it.
Papiol?
Papiol.
Okay.
I don't know.
I liked that one a lot as well.
I did.
So
It was a really nice closer.
It was more of that like, all right, we yelled, we banged on a lot of pipes. We
Now we're
had
tired.
some loud electric guitar. So here is your just a nice.
We're tired,
song.
you're tired. Let's just wrap it up and be pretty together.
Yeah. So still a great release. They say that there is a CD version that you should pick up because there's a bonus track on it. You have to go to batcaveproductions.pl and pick up a hard copy physical release.
Yep, and don't be intimidated by their site. It's pretty easy to use.
Oh, Batcave's site?
Yeah,
Maybe we should have an episode one day where we navigate through that for people.
we could. I mean, it's just a little rough on mobile, but on desktop it's fine.
Oh, okay.
That's part of our review.
Oh, what was your favorite track?
My favorite track was Pitania,
Oh, that's right, the sexy one.
the sexy one.
The almost sax. I don't know why it sounded like sax, but it's not. My favorite one was Do Nasty Dom.
Dynasty Dom. Do Nasty Dom.
That's like in Sunny in Philadelphia when he was dating Shadynasty. And
Oh, Shady Nasty.
they're like, Shady Nasty? No, Shadynasty. Anyway,
But-
similar to that.
Yeah, I'm kind of becoming more appreciative of more experimental albums like this because I listen to so much stuff that is starting to, like fall into. We talked about this last week too. Fall into, like the molds, the formulas. So it's really nice.
Oh, that's
listening to
right.
something that
It's
breaks
more
out of it.
refreshing when something is not what you expect.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
It's a good point.
so
Okay.
next is Delirium Mask Entis.
Entis. So this album is only on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Nowhere else.
It's only on YouTube. It is nowhere else. And it is the second album of the band.
It premiered on January 20th on YouTube. You can go find it right now.
On their YouTube channel, which is Delirium Mask Dark Punk. All one word.
There's not that many subscribers. Go give them a subscribe. So,
Yeah, and this is something we've harped on about before. Like, subscribe to bands' YouTubes.
it really helps out.
It really helps them.
It helps them end up in other people's recommendations.
Yeah.
And so a band goes from like 100 followers to like 1,000
I know.
because you.
This is why I
stopped by.
really hate those like aggregation channels, which they just like go and collect a bunch of music and then like upload it or re-download everything and upload it, and it's like, I guess it is kind of like what mixes do, but that's the thing, is like bands don't exist on Mixcloud to put their stuff out on Mixcloud. Like, that service has a specific function. SoundCloud is a little different, but on YouTube, like, a lot of record labels and a lot of bands, like, that's where they put their music videos when they release. That's where they might upload a single if it doesn't end up on Bandcamp, because you can't put a music video up for download on Bandcamp.
No. You could put a link.
So the album is only available right now on YouTube. How many tracks is it? It's like 8?
I don't know.
It's short. It's
19 minutes long.
It's a 19-minute long album.
So wait, let's tell them about the band. So
Okay.
on their Facebook poetry, which is in Spanish, and I had to translate it, so it's probably not exactly poetry. Delirium was formed in mid-2018 with a...
Delirium Mask. They were previously called Delirium.
Oh, okay. Formed in mid-2018 with a sound that rescues death rock and punk of the late 70s and 80s with an image and staging that stands out for the terrifying and sinister.
Spooky.
Yeah, I guess, there's another band called Delirium, but spelled with an E. D-E-L-E. T-E-L-E.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Delirium.
Yeah, they recently just, right before they released this on YouTube, changed the name of their band to Delirium Mask.
So they're a brand new baby band.
No, they have
But
an
the
album
band
before
members...
this.
Well, yeah, you see they had a release before this, but it still
Called,
was in 2018, right?
Yeah, called Octo 1. I don't know. I have it in my email.
So the first track is great.
Yeah, the first track is so nice. Donde estoy?
Where are you? Where am I?
Oh
am
my
I?
god.
You're Spanish.
Oh my god.
These aren't food words, so I'm not. Estoy. Donde está? Where am I? That's what that means. Yeah, it's great death rock. It's very fast.
It is very fast, and that's something that's sort of repeated throughout this entire album, is that it is very fast. Some of the tracks have an almost metalish guitar, which isn't super uncommon in death rock nowadays, because a lot of death rock mixes with punk scenes, which mix with hardcore scenes, which mix with like some of the metal, and it's awesome. But anyway, that's not the point. It's a really great track, and it is it sounds like a female vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a backing male vocals throughout the entire album,
Yes.
which I really, really enjoyed.
And mostly on the second track is where it stood out to me, where they were doing like dual alternating vocals.
Yeah, and that was
really
so
fast.
cool.
That was really cool. But it's happening so fast that like I don't know if the record was recorded live. Sometimes they fall off the rhythm because they're shouting it so fast.
Huh.
So it could be that, I don't know if they need to do it in a studio and line it up, but you can hear they're like next to each other, just quick fire and singing.
Second track is Auto Exilio. I had to request the track specifically from the band because I wanted to play it at the
Is that the track you played?
Yeah, the one that got interrupted because...
But you played most of it.
I played most of it, but it got interrupted because someone needed to move their car. You know, as you do. I don't really remember the third track, but I remember the fourth track.
I remember the fourth track.
Because it's the guy going, Ichi, ni, san, shi.
Yeah, it's
like throughout the entire track.
That's Japanese.
Because the track is called Midori.
Midori, which is Japanese for green. So I wonder if they have some Japanese influence. Like maybe she does or he does or something.
Or they just really love Japanese death rock. Maybe they like Fidia.
I just started like daydreaming and I was like, Japanese death rock? Like, I don't know anything about Japanese death rock.
It exists.
That's really awesome. I did not know. I mean, I guess it would have to exist because it's in everywhere. Death rock is everywhere.
Yeah, so I think that they have a video up on their channel for this song too.
This one?
For Midori? Mm-hmm.
That I didn't see. Yeah, there are some videos on here. Like, they put up one for... Well, that's not a video at all. That's their last album.
See, right there. I don't know if that's just
It's just a picture.
Oh shit! Look at that. It has the lyrics with it though.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and then there's another song further down where they do go 1, 2, 3, 4. So they jump back to Spanish.
But I really want them to put this up on Bandcamp. I really want them to, put this up somewhere where people can actually access the music because it is a great album.
It is a lot of fun.
It is really good. Even if it's so short, it is such a good album.
Also, I went to their Facebook page and they have a little video there. I don't see it here. They had a video for La Culpa clip. It is on Facebook, and
so
it was uploaded
spooky.
8 months ago. So La Culpa must have been from their previous release, but you could see the band members, and they're all adorable and completely decked out and in cemeteries, as you do.
As one does.
And I think we should tell more people about it.
So we need to bother them about it. But Delirium Mask, I know it's only on YouTube. I know that you can't close your phone if you're listening on your phone when you're on YouTube, but dedicate 20 minutes to listening to this album if you love death rock. Like, it's fantastic. And then our last album is probably the first punk album we've ever reviewed.
Is it punk?
I think it's more punk than anything, even if it does sound like some early Batcave, maybe like
I was gonna send it to a friend
party.
and ask if it was like horror punk or something.
It didn't
Like,
feel
I'm not
like,
even sure.
It didn't feel like horror punk. It felt like it... Okay, so we're talking about Senex IV and their
talking
album
about it.
Doll's House. Because there were some, like, what felt like almost rockabilly vibes. There were some, like, old school metal vibes I felt on some tracks. There were some that felt kind of, like, reminiscent of The Birthday Party. There were some that felt reminiscent of, like, spooky Beatles.
I felt like, so, oh my god.
Like, there's a lot going on this album.
There is,
as well.
but it's still consistent. It's still very consistent.
Still very
it sounds like it all came
consistent.
from the same band. So Senex IV, this is me going into their description.
Okay.
They produce a dark sound based on the band members' long history of playing in underground bands. The bands are Dave Middle on vocals, Rob Shaw on guitar, and Mark Tingy on bass.
The bass on this album was amazing. Great job, Mark.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes, it was. And Anthony Hitchcock on drums. So, you've got a 10-track album, as normal. This is their debut album. Mm-hmm. Good job. The song Tramp.
Can we start with Trouble? Because honestly, the song that led in the album was a song called Trouble, and it reminded me of 13th Chime's Witch Tree Lane.
That's death rock. So then there were some times I was listening and I was like, I've heard death rock bands do this.
Yes. So it has a lot of elements in it.
So it's not like straight up classical death rock.
But
it's what death rock bands do when they're experimenting.
It felt like early Batcave.
Yeah.
But the thing that really I felt was consistent throughout was this very punk sound.
And the
even
punk,
if there was a lot going on around that.
the good punk, like
The good punk.
I'm sorry to anybody who really loves punk, but like
Old school punk.
yeah, so like the Ramones and the Misfits was what I was getting out of like My Sister is a Serial Killer.
That was a fun track. Oh my gosh.
So I'm like kind of
And
punk.
I kept listening to My Sister's a Serial Killer and thinking, is this incesty? Because talking about like how his sister and him come as a pair, and there's this one guy who didn't love him and loved the sister instead, and the sister killed him.
I don't even
Like, I'm
remember
trying to
this
figure out
ever.
what the fuck this song is about.
Oh my god. Okay, so that was skipping down a little bit. That was,
Okay,
that was
but
track
Mouse
4.
really wanted to talk about Tramp.
Just reminded me of the Cramps. It was campy.
The whole album is campy.
It was silly. It was fun. It was, I always imagine like watching these guys live, and it's probably just a riot. That kind of punk where you actually like participate with the band.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, exactly. And the song titles are fucking dumb as hell. My Sister's a Serial Killer. Let me hug you.
Let me hug you. Are you kidding me? I'm like, can you imagine like Tatiana or something? Like just like, no, don't touch me.
But it's dumb in like the fun campy way. Although I did see an album today where the first track was like a song to start the album with, and I'm just like, what the fuck kind of title is that?
That was what it was called?
That was what the first track was called on some album I was looking at today.
Oh my god.
But Valentine was fun as well.
I didn't like Valentine as much. Just the way that he was singing.
Okay.
But My Sister is a Serial Killer. Okay, so first let me tell you, I don't think there's any drums in this. They are finger snapping! Like, seriously! Like, how could you not love that? Mm-hmm. So that just makes up for everything. Yeah, Ramones Misfits is what I was hearing. Mm-hmm. And then, there are some parts where it does sound rocky alternative, like I heard Stone Roses, and I heard some kind of, like, British, almost Manchester rock.
Oh, it was very British.
Very British.
Oh, the album is very British.
Yeah, in a good way. Everything that
Yeah.
British rock is known for.
Mm-hmm. There was Junk Lovers, which I think I enjoyed.
I don't really remember Junk Lovers because that was right after Let Me Hug You, and all I could think of was that British Manchester rock. Like, just Manchester rock. So all of that, like Blur even, but not as poppy.
I think it was when you started to get it into like Treehouse and Blind. There was like a very metal guitar, like classic metal guitar.
So
in there.
Blind reminded me of Gene Loves Jezebel.
Huh.
So it's like rock but darker, but not. I didn't hear metal.
I think it's because a lot of the rest of the album had like these very like steely guitars, and then a couple of tracks had these like really distorted fast guitars.
I loved all of it.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, so can we talk about Don't Be Afraid?
Oh my god, Don't Be Afraid. Okay, first off the bass.
I don't remember the bass. I just remember Okay, so I tried to write it down as la 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 la. It's like 7 of them. La 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 la.
That track, I think is my favorite track off the whole album.
It made me laugh the most.
Yeah, but it's really good.
It's all fun. It was very, very fun. So this is one of those albums that I would never imagine listening to this. Like, I'm always listening to dark wave or death rock or goth rock, and it kind of doesn't fit into any one of those things, but at the same time it's all of those things. Mm-hmm. And it's not messy. Like, it sounds like it's all by the same band. Mm-hmm. So it has some kind of cohesion and consistency. I don't know what's going on with the album cover. That album cover is so 90s.
I honestly had like flipped through this album and I was just sort of like, oh, okay, this is something I'll go back to and check out later. And then Mouse sent it to me and was just like,
yeah, that's when it's time.
This? And I was just like, yeah.
It came back around. It was time.
Yeah. So this release was a lot of fun. It was also another one of those releases that just kind of like, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air.
A brush of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air.
A brush of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air.
So I just noticed that they have the single "My Sister is a Serial Killer" also available on Bandcamp. Look at that face. Is that him? You think that's him?
I don't know.
That's so creepy. Oh, there's a picture of the band. That is a rockabilly look right there.
Yeah, it is.
That is such a rockabilly jacket.
How many strings does that guitar have?
5.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4,
This
5.
one.
Oh, that one? You gonna make me count guitar strings now? 6.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that one has 6. Look.
Why does it look like there are so many?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why are we counting guitar strings?
Oh, this is a bass. It is 5.
That is a 5-string bass.
Okay.
This is a 6-string guitar.
Tangent. Okay. I knew that there was one too many.
They look like a rockabilly Judas Priest. I'm about it.
Yeah.
I'm about it. And then they have a single also for Trouble, and I just got a notification today that they're selling a shirt for the cover of Trouble.
Yeah, but I did have a lot of fun.
This is why you follow bands. Even if they're putting out a t-shirt or a button, you will know.
Yeah, but I did really, really enjoy this one.
They look like they've been around forever.
No, this is a debut friend project, I guess.
That's crazy.
It's fun.
What was your favorite track?
Don't Be Afraid, followed by My Sister's a Serial Killer.
I'm gonna have to go with My Sister's a Serial Killer, followed by Don't Be Afraid.
So, same tracks, just flip-flopped, yeah.
And the other tracks are definitely worth checking out as well. Watching You, I really liked, because that reminded me of the Stone Roses.
Well, because all of the songs, like, tell a story, and it's usually, like, about somebody, and
Let Me Hug You.
it's just fun. It's a lot of fun. All right, that's it. We only had 3. Sorry, I don't know what else Mouse is expecting.
A hug!
Just kidding. How many drunk photos do we have together where I'm hugging you?
Or like this on somebody. Your tired photos. We have a lot of those. I have a lot of those. Mm-hmm. I'm a whole folder.
All right. So, we have reached the end of our video. Just a reminder that we do have a giveaway in the news episode, so go watch that one. Find out what we're giving away. It's CDs from Marky Moon and Slow Decay. And we're at the point where we thank our Patreon supporters who help make these episodes possible. If you don't want to like get on our Patreon and talk to us on Discord, I totally get it, but you can always donate, buy us dinner.
Waffles.
I don't want waffles for dinner.
That would be amazing. That would be so good.
Anyway, thank you, Hyoscyamus.
Thank you, Sabaris.
Thank you, Uncle Fester.
Thank you, Max Shrek.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Cadaver Kelly.
Thank you, Demetria.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Skullgirdle.
Thank you, Libby.
Thank you, Junkyard Bat.
Thank you, Mason Shiver.
Thank you, Acid Bitter.
And thank you, David.
Yeah.
You help us to keep doing what we do. Mm-hmm. Even if you are not one of our patron supporters, please follow, like, comment, subscribe. Did I say that already? Smash the thing, the like.
Do the bell, whatever.
Do all the buttons and stuff.
Check us out on Instagram. We recently gave management of our Instagram over to a friend of ours, and it is poppin'. Can I say poppin'?
No, we say boppin'.
Oh, boppin'?
Yeah, that's the word. That shit's boppin'.
Kay.
It's bangin'.
It's banging. I'll go with banging. I feel comfortable with banging.
You do? You feel comfortable with banging? I got her to say
You bitch. You bitch.
So how comfortable are you with banging?
Not on camera, Mouse.
Oh, sorry, okay. So our Instagram is up to 1,400 followers, and our YouTube is up to 1,000, so thank you so much. Our Obscura Undead Facebook is up to 2,300, and our Obscura Undead Facebook group community has broken 1,000, and we just started, so
like a year ago. Like, this shit's bizarre, but really amazing. We're really fucking happy that people like the shit that we're doing, and we're doing more shit in the future. We're gonna continue to do these videos, of course, and yeah, we're gonna be putting out quarterly compilations with releases from each quarter.
Yep.
which is going to be cool. We're going to put out zines every quarter if we can, which I don't see why we can't. We can do these things, and that's another thing that, you know, our supporters' fundages go into, and we're very grateful for it, because
it helps us buy stamps.
Oh my god, stamps are so fucking expensive.
Oh my god. So I guess that's why people stopped mailing letters.
Yeah, we're just
but anyway,
dumb.
We're going back to it, and we're mailing zines.
Yeah, and we aren't doing digital because it's cool having a thing in your hands.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when they run out, they're out.
Yeah, that. So we'll see you later. Get yours now. Bye, bye. Oh wait, no, we did that.
Did we do that last time? Can we not do it again?
Oh, sure.
Bye, bye, bye. Oh, it's also bye, bye, bye.
I'll see ya.